All right, welcome to the webinar, A Smarter Way to Grow Your Practice with Payroll. We'll be getting started here. Kind of the agenda today is we'll kind of go through kind of a short presentation just about this very topic. And then towards the end, we'll do any Q&A. So feel free to drop some messages in the chat and we'll kind of gather those up. And towards the end, we'll be answering those questions. So I'm going to turn it over right now to Ron and Ben Valentine to kind of take us through the presentation.
Great. Thanks, Patrick. So I'm just going to introduce us really quick. So I'm going to introduce my dad. This is my dad, Ron. He's kind of been my inspiration, and he graduated with his degree in 1981, and then he followed up by a master's in computer science, and then spent 9 years working as a federal auditor. Left his government job and started his own practice. And so currently he runs about 375 payroll companies. And then here's a little bit about me. So I got my degree in 2013, and then I afterwards got a technical training software, or I went to a technical training school, and learned how to program. So we have accounting and programming in our genes. And so I've spent the past few years working with some developers developing what we call the Payroll Hive system. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today.
Okay, great. Hey, thanks for joining us. This is Ron. We hope that the next several minutes will be worthwhile to you. So we're going to be talking about this Payroll Hive system, but throughout the webinar, I'm also going to reference some of the different things that we've done to grow our personal accounting practice over the last 30 years.
Okay, so just a little overview of how this webinar is going to go. We're going to talk about some of the problems that accountants face running payroll. We're going to talk about the solution to the problems. Then we're going to spend a little bit of time teaching you how to grow your payroll practice. We'll talk about some of the pricing involved with Payroll Hive, and then at the end we'll do a Q&A like Patrick had mentioned.
Okay, so for about 10 years ago, I realized that the tax software industry was targeting the self-prepared tax return market. So we got things like TurboTax and FastTax, and they were taking a huge market share of the tax preparation business for individuals. So to keep our tax practice and our tax business vibrant, I decided that we needed to focus on small business tax needs instead of individual returns. So with that, I realized that payroll was a huge need for small business owners. So initially, I avoided the payroll because of several problems. It's kind of like washing dishes. It has to be done constantly. I didn't want to be in the office on Friday afternoons. It seems like everybody wants their payroll done on a Friday. Another reason I avoided the payroll was because the fees were relatively small compared to the constant attention that was needed. I didn't like the software that was available. The good software was expensive, and the cheap software didn't do a lot of the things that you needed it to do. So you had to do a lot of manual processes to keep track of the requirements. Another thing that discouraged me from offering payroll is that the requirements keep changing. For instance, now there are requirements for electronic interface with most state governments. And as you recall, a few years ago, the IRS required all payroll deposits to be made electronically through the EFTPS. So gone are the days that you can send in a check to the IRS for payroll deposits. I also wanted to be able to provide services that some of the bigger firms like Paychex and ADP offer, things like direct deposit, drafting taxes out of client accounts and sending the money directly to government entities. I wanted my fees to be deposited into my account. I did not want to deal with receivables and the nightmare of billing for payroll services. So I looked into some of the so-called partnership programs with some of these bigger firms, and I really didn't like turning my clients over to someone else, and they didn't like their compensation proposals to me.
Okay, so let's talk about the solution. So just to give you a little backstory on the solution. So when I was in college, one of my professors, he put on a class for all the accountants that wanted to be their own, to start up their own practice. And so I'd attend that class. And one of the things he always preached to us was payroll is something you should always outsource. Accounts should outsource it. He argued that payroll was too time consuming for accountants. Their time is better spent doing things that bring in bigger profits. And in most cases, he was right. Payroll just isn't profitable for accountants. In fact, there was a study done where a form was sent out to accountants, and it found that 80% of all accountants do not make money running payroll. In most cases, they outsource either the payroll or they lose money processing payroll just because they're trying to fulfill the needs of their clients. So that's where Payroll Hive came in. We came up with this a system to help accountants make payroll profitable again. And so I've spent a few years working with programmers and developing the system to help accountants white label their payroll services. So I'm going to play a video for you in a minute, but it's one thing to know is our whole system has been built around the idea of making payroll easier to run and profitable for accountants. So I'm going to play this video to kind of explain. So give me a second here. It takes a minute for me to screen share this. And then I'll kind of explain this in a second.
When it comes to providing payroll services for your clients, traditionally there have been two options. One, do it yourself by hiring in-house labor. Or two, relying on a professional payroll company. With in-house labor, you keep your clients and build your client relationships. That's a good thing. However, you have to pay for overpriced software and expensive labor, waste time dealing with federal and state governments, risk making costly mistakes that diminish both profit and trust, and keep up to date with constantly changing tax laws. Option 2, using a professional payroll company, solves some of these issues. But rather than helping you build your accounting practice, they take it from you, leaving you with a measly referral fee. Simply put, they take the profit out of payroll. Introducing Payroll Hive. We are a third option, the best of both worlds. We give your accounting firm a way to provide payroll services easily while still keeping your clients. With our white label software, you get to be the face of payroll and set your own fees without having to do the work. You'll be provided with the tools and personal training necessary for you to grow your practice. We are exactly what every accountant needs.
Let me just share with you some of the things that we did in our personal practice to grow payroll. So first of all, each payroll client that we bring in, each company that we do, brings us between $800 to $2,000 a year in revenues. And we've had payroll clients for over 2 decades. In other words, they stay with you. We don't lose payroll clients very often at all. And so it's very profitable. So we have 300 clients or so that we do payroll for. We bring in about $30,000 a month, and it just comes in like clockwork every month. It's really nice. So it makes sense to start pulling in prospective payroll clients. The first thing that you want to do is let your clients know that you're actually looking for payroll business. I remember when I first started to look for this kind of work, I picked up 8 new clients in the first month just from my current client list. Their response to me was, I didn't know that you did this. They'd much rather work with their accountant, with the person that does their taxes, than working with a sales rep from one of the bigger firms. So here are some ideas on how to get the word out to your clients. Number one, you can just add a line in your tax preparation letter. We use Lacert software, and it's easy to go in and modify the letter, and we can just put in a line. You know, we are now offering payroll services. Call us. We'll give you a quote. Even better than that is you can create a little flyer and put that little flyer in with your tax package. Or if you email your tax returns out, put that with your email package. You can send out a short email to all of your clients saying that your firm is offering payroll processing services. One other thing we've done, Ben, can you show the posters? We put posters in our conference rooms just so that the clients can see some of the other services that we offer. So these are some actual posters that we have in our office, just letting people know that we do payroll services. And the next thing I'd suggest is that you go through your Schedule C clients and you can contact all of them that are netting more than $40,000 a year. I like to explain to our clients about the self-employment tax, and they could possibly save taxes by operating as an S corp and recharacterizing some of their earned income as unearned income. So we generally will pick up about 10 payroll clients a year that are single shareholder S corps. The other thing that we do is we like to educate our clients on the difference between employees and independent contractors. We find that many small companies are not compliant. They pay their employees as independent contractors, and often they're relieved because they know they're doing it wrong. They just don't know how to correct the procedure.
Yeah, so I'm going to jump back really quick and kind of explain the payroll, how the Payroll Hive system works, and then we'll kind of come back here and talk about more ways that we can market our firm, market your payroll services. So how it works with us. So like the video mentioned, we're a white labeled service, and so when we get one of our affiliates to sign up, they decide how involved in the process they'd like to be. There's a lot of those of you that offer payroll services already. There's a lot that goes on with payroll. So you'll decide if, when a payroll issue comes up, how it's going to be handled, if it's going to be handled by our staff, or you want it to go through you to handle the issue. We'll have our staff help you set up your companies and the system. We do all the work so that you don't have to. You set up your billing prices. So with our system, we give you the option to bill however you'd like to bill. So you can charge your client however much you're charging them per month, and we allow that. We take care of all the payroll processing, the report filing. We send an automatic report to your clients after payroll's run. There's a lot of those easy features to make your life easier, and that's it. Honestly, our team does all the work for you. So it's a really easy system to work. We make it streamlined and easy for the accountant. That's the idea. Okay, so let's jump back into how to grow your payroll practice. And so we had talked about my dad had talked about different ideas on how you can grow it. I'm going to talk a little bit about email marketing. So one of the things that we can do, email marketing is a great way to grow, and there's a lot of different services out there that will help you. One of the things you can do is you can just send an email and ask your clients for referrals. A lot of times you're gonna get that. So if you have an email list of all your clients, just ask them for a referral. They'll give it to you. And then there are quite a few different email softwares out there. So there's MailChimp, HubSpot, Wix, Shoutout. There's a ton of them, and they're all good. I've used these three. They're great. So another thing that you can do is, or one thing to note with sending out emails is sometimes putting a personal touch to it. When they're your clients and you know them, it goes a long ways. They really appreciate that. So email marketing is a great thing to do. Here's something that not a lot of accountants are doing right now is becoming your local professional. So you want to establish yourself in your area as the local expert. And so some of the things that we've done with my dad's practice to get that is we've gone to these local business development centers, and we've asked them for referrals. And it's interesting because a lot of times they'll do it without even charging us anything. They'll just do it for free because they're trying to help out these small businesses they're trying to grow. So that's a really good way to get good referrals. You can put on these workshops. So, you can put on a workshop inside your office, and it gets clients coming in the door. They get to know you. You can put on like a QuickBooks class, or all sorts of things.
So Ben, let me just jump in here.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you knew, but I got an email from the city of Layton.
Okay.
Layton's where our CPA firm is located, and so we've done some workshops in the city building for some people that they brought in. They actually want to do another workshop, and they've agreed to do it actually at our office. So
nice.
now we've got a lot of people actually walking in through the doors in our office that's endorsed by the city.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Yeah, that's it's huge just to get someone in the door. It makes it so much easier for them to come in later during tax time, or whenever they have a need. They'll come into your office because they've already been in. They feel comfortable. They know you. So these are the things that are really good. Another thing I want to talk about is just doing the small things. All of us that are accountants know that tax season can be rough, and people get angry. And so one thing we've done to kind of boost our status with our clients is we just give them a small little candy bar or a drink, and it's amazing how much that alleviates some of their pain. And just getting something free, even though they have to pay so much, thousands of dollars in taxes, they feel a little bit better. And then on top of that is your online presence. That's something that's really important. Your Google reviews. We recently had an incident where we had a lady that she had given us a really bad review because of a mistake that was done on her return. Well, as a lot of you may know, the mistake wasn't. It was because we were given misinformation. It wasn't really our fault. And so what we did to resolve the issue is we messaged her back on a review, apologized, and then offered to do her return for free. And she changed her negative review to a positive review, a 5-star review. And since then, we've gotten quite a few referrals from Google solely on the fact that we're ranked really high on Google. So if you don't have an online presence, I highly recommend doing that. You're going to get a lot of referrals that way. So that's a really good thing to do. Okay, so I want to jump back to why you should be using Payroll Hive for your payroll. One thing is time is money. Payroll, like my professor had mentioned, it's just not worth it for the accountant to do. You need to have a company that's very specific and good at doing payroll. Your time is way better spent doing taxes and bookkeeping, things that bring in a lot more money. So that's one reason that you should outsource the Payroll Hive. Government compliance guaranteed. We guarantee that all of our payrolls can be compliant. We've been doing this for a long time. Our staff has been doing it for over 20 years. They know the laws. Fast and secure payments. We do everything through ACH direct deposit, and so our payments are secure and they're fast. We do everything from our billing to our direct deposits through ACH. So you're guaranteed secure payments. We offer business growth help because we started as an accounting firm. We know how accountants think. We know the pain that you're going through, and we're going to help you grow. We've done it before, and we're going to help you do it. And then just peace of mind. You're not going to have to worry about on a Friday night making sure you get your client's payroll done so they get paid, so they don't get mad at you, because our staff is on it. We're going to be there doing it for you. So in some situations, so let's just talk about the billing here for a minute. So the billing, so our software is free to all of our affiliates. And let me explain. So we don't charge for the software like some of the other payroll companies out there. We offer our software for free. The way that we make our money is through the payroll processing. So we charge a $30 flat fee per payroll process, and to be clear, that process is that cost is to the company, not to you. So, for example, let's say that you have, you have a company and you charge them $150 per month for payroll, and they're biweekly. Our fee would be $60 because that's 2 payroll processes, and so for the month you would make $90. So that's how we do our billing. And if you have any questions on that, we can answer them at the end. But we make our billing very simple. That includes the reports and year-end filing along with direct deposit. So it's a very simple, easy fee there. And then there are some situations where we have some of our affiliates, they like to bill their own clients. And so in those cases, we allow them to bill their clients, and then we'll bill their account for the payroll process. And I can explain that better to you at the end if you have questions about it.
Yeah. So often I'll meet with people who are getting ready to retire, and they're so excited to get their government pension or their company pension or their Social Security, get their $2,000 a month for the rest of their life. What this payroll solution does, it actually gives you an annuity for the rest of your life. So in that example that Ben just mentioned, that $90 just comes into your account every month. Just think of that as actually even a great exit strategy.
Yeah. And so we appreciate all you that decided to spend time with us today. So we're doing a deal that we've been doing with our affiliates where we're going to be offering $500 in marketing ads to all of our new affiliates. So, and just to explain, so like I mentioned before, we grow when you grow. So we're incentivized to help you grow your payroll practice and make more money. We both make more money together. And so as a special offer, we're going to be spending $500 of our own money in helping you get your payroll practice started. And so if this is something you're interested in, just go to that link there in the PowerPoint, and maybe we can send out in the chat here in a minute. There you're going to find our onboarding form, and there's a few questions about your company and how your company operates, just to make sure that our partnership is going to be a fit. There's some cases where our affiliates, it's just not a really good fit for our business model, and we want to make sure it's an exclusively good mutual deal for both of us. And so yeah, go there, fill that out, and then we can talk about moving forward from there. Okay, so let me just go over while you're filling that out. So just head over there while you're filling that out. We're going to answer a couple of the common questions, and then at the end we'll do just a Q&A. So some of the common questions are, do you do all the states and local taxes? And the answer is yes. In most cases, we do all the states and local taxes. There are some that we don't. Things like some of the territories like Puerto Rico. So yeah, we do most, but some cases we don't. Who takes care of the payroll issues? So like I mentioned, we're white labeled, so that's entirely up to you. If you want to handle your clients' issues to interface with them more, then you can do that. If you want to just offload it to us, then we will contact your client, we will take care of the issues, and we'll do everything on your behalf. So yeah, that's up to you. And then lastly, do you do direct deposit? And the answer is yes. I'd already mentioned that before. We can also print checks. So if you want to print checks for your clients, you can do that. Okay, so let's open up and see if there are any questions here.
Yeah, so we have a few questions. So Julie asked, I've been told the risk is too high. I imagine that's running payroll. There's a lot of liability with it.
Yeah. So in our system, like I had mentioned in the one slide, we guarantee our work. We guarantee that if there's a mistake done on our end, we'll take care of it and we'll pay for it. But we've been doing this for a long time. We've been able to minimize those mistakes. I think there was actually, I read I don't know the exact numbers, but the IRS had issued out a statistic on there was like, I don't know, there was like 1 in 3 companies had received fines for payroll. So it is really high, and there is a high risk, but using us, you're guaranteed.
Yeah, the risk is probably high. If you do things right, there is no risk. But if the companies are not giving us correct information, that liability falls on them.
Yeah.
Okay, so Andy asked, pay per payroll is $30, but how many employees per does that count for? How many checks?
Yeah, that's a good question. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. So that's up into 20 employees. So we do, it's $30 per payroll, up into 20 employees, and after 20 employees, it goes up a little bit per employee, just because as there's more employees, there's more work. So yeah, that's how that works.
Then do you do quarterlies and year ends, and does that cost more?
Okay, yeah. So we do the quarterlies, we do the year ends, and we do all the tax withholding, and that is actually included in the $30 cost. We, like I had mentioned, our whole idea is to make payroll profitable for you, the accountant, and for us. And so we tried to slim down as much as we can, and so we're making that $30 covers everything. That $30 per payroll. So yeah, there won't be any extra charges on that.
Okay. Do you do South? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, but I would recommend to the accountant to charge. So in other words, if I had a client, I'm doing payroll, I'm going to charge him I might charge him a little extra for quarterlies. I'm going to charge him for year end, but payroll, Hive won't charge you. That's just extra money for you.
Right. Yep.
Okay. What about South Carolina unemployment?
Yeah, so we can handle all that stuff. And
then,
in those cases, we can take it, we can take it state by state, and we can talk about it. If there's certain, some states do some interesting things, and we can take it case by case.
Okay, and then another question that's, they live in Pennsylvania. They have local municipal taxes in addition to state. Do you handle those local returns?
We do on request on those. Yeah, we can handle those. There's a lot of cases where we won't do it and we'll put it on the accountant, but if you request it, we can handle that.
Okay. Then another question is, I do quarterlies, and some clients have around 25 employees bi-monthly in a computer check they pick up from my office. So how would you handle a situation like that?
So in that case, so we have in your white labeled web portal, there'll be a place where you can actually go in and print off on check paper the checks. So what would happen is they would enter their hours, our payroll team would process it, and then you would go log in and just print out all their checks, and then they can come pick it up when they're ready. Does that make sense?
Great.
They can print off the checks.
Does Payroll Hive integrate with QuickBooks or other accounting software automatically? Also, do you do W-2s and 1099s?
Yeah, so we at this point we don't integrate because we have custom written the code. We are able to help in custom reports that clients may need, but yeah, at this point we don't integrate with QuickBooks. And then we do year end stuff. So we'll do the W-2s and we do the 1099s and the 940s. So yeah, we do all that.
And then how do you handle garnishments, child support, 401k, HSA, workers' comp, state disability?
Yes. So we do all those, and those are some of the big issues of payroll that make it so time consuming and hard. And that's something that we specialize in. We have a really good payroll staff that they're really good support staff, and so yeah, we can handle that. We'll go in and help with those court orders and those garnishments. We can do all that. Yeah.
Okay, then can you explain, Debbie, was that she missed the $30 per payroll client. Is that cost annual or monthly? Can you just kind of repeat that?
Yeah. So the $30 it's not a monthly fee, and it's not an annual fee. It's a per payroll. So if you have someone that's monthly, it would be monthly in that case, $30 per month. If they're biweekly, it'd be $30 every other week. So it's $30 every time we have our payroll team spending time to process that payroll.
Okay, then kind of building on that. So just as an example, Andy asked if he has a client who has 20 employees on a payroll and they do bi-monthly, so you would charge $30 times two. So the total cost of Payroll Hive per business would be $60. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And then do you cover penalties and interest for mistakes that you make, that Payroll Hive makes?
Yes, for mistakes that our team makes, yes, we guarantee that. We cover that.
Great. And then can you handle tipped employees and clergy?
Yes. So we do both those also. Yep.
Great. Any other questions? We're kind of in Q&A mode, so just throw it in the chat. We're kind of all caught up on questions.
Okay.
I will just give it a few more seconds. Yeah, more questions coming in. Can you do a bulk rate discount? Or do you give a bulk rate discount if they have a lot of clients? I assume.
Yeah. So in those cases, we'll take it on a case by case. So we can talk that out. If you have a bunch of clients, and yeah, we can talk about a bulk rate discount.
And then the next question is, how do my clients report their hours to you?
So that can happen in a few different ways. So because we've been in the payroll business for a while, we understand how it can be. So we have a online login where the company can log in and enter their hours for their clients, because we know there's some people that like that. There's some people that like just emailing their hours in a spreadsheet, so we can handle that. There's some people that like just sending a text, and we can handle that. So any of those scenarios, we can get the hours however your client wants it. We tried to make it really easy for your client to get us their hours.
Okay. And just to recap, that portal that they would log into, it's white labeled as the accounting firm.
Right.
Correct.
So yeah, it'll say your accounting firm's name. It'll have your logo up there, and so it'll look to your client as if they're logging in to your accounting's payroll software and entering the hours.
Okay. And next question, do you handle household payrolls?
Yeah, we can do those. They're a little trickier because it ends up being on the income tax return. But this is a great way to do it because we're dealing with an accountant. So
Great. Do we have any more questions from people attending? I think someone asked earlier, just how quickly can they get up and running with Payroll Hive if they kind of decided to go with Payroll Hive?
Yeah. So we have that onboarding form that we sent out. So fill that out. We'll get back to you as quickly as possible. And it's just a matter of how fast we can move your clients over to our system. And in that case, just so that you're aware, we have our payroll staff do it, so you don't have to do the work. So if you're moving from another software, we'll have our staff go in and just pull that data for you, so you don't have to. And then we'll enter in all the historic data. So yeah, we do all the work. So yeah, we can get you on as soon as possible. We can get you on quick.
So someone just kind of asked, and do you assist with moving clients from other software to yours?
Yep. You said just how I had mentioned. Yeah, our payroll staff can just log in. If you give us your login, we'll log in and grab all that data. Or if you want to grab it and just send it to us, they'll
Yeah.
it, so you don't have to.
Or even if it's just reports, just if we get the information, we can get it in the system.
Yep. And we don't make you do that.
Now, do you guys charge a setup fee per client, or is there no setup fee?
Well, we're going to waive it for now. We will be charging a setup fee.
Yeah. And to be clear, it's not per company. There's no setup fee per company. It'd be just setting up the new accountant.
But to
So
clarify, right now there's no setup fee.
correct.
You'll
Yeah.
you'll move all my clients over to your software, no charge.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Is there, is there any? Do you have a direct phone number someone's asking that they can call
Yeah.
you?
Yeah. So there we have a couple numbers. A good number to call is 801-513-4362. So that's my direct line if you want to talk to me there. And
Okay. And do you file 0 quarterly returns?
yeah, we do. Yep. Yeah, we do quite a bit of those. So
Great. Any other questions from the audience? I imagine, Ben, you would have personal conversations with anyone that wanted to call you, correct? And you could answer
yeah.
their questions directly. Okay.
Yeah, so feel free to call anytime, and we can talk. We can talk about your situation and how we can help you out.
Great. Thank you. I think we'll go ahead and end the webinar. Thanks for everyone for attending. Oh, someone just added a few more questions coming in, so we'll keep going. So is there a per check fee in addition to $30 per payroll?
There's not. Nope. So we unlike other software out there, it's just that $30. That's it.
Okay. And any amount of new payroll you can take now, the amount of new payroll you can take.
Yeah. Meaning like we can handle as much as you can give us. Is that the question? I'm not sure if that's
Yeah, it was just the amount of new payroll you can take now. Sounds like, if they had 0 clients, you could sign up, or if they had, over 100, you could take them, correct?
correct. Yep. And just it would just in certain cases it would take us a little bit longer to transport all the data, but yeah, we can take. If you have 0, we're happy to get you started, and if you have 100, we're happy to have you on board. So yeah.
Great. All right. Any more questions? We'll give it another 10 seconds or so. All right. Thank you for your time. Really. And do you just want to repeat the marketing offer you have for anyone onboarding? They get, is it $500?
Yeah, so we're offering $500 in marketing to in marketing ads to any new affiliates to sign up from this webinar, just as a way to help you grow your payroll practice, get started. We're gonna help you with some of our expertise in getting payroll clients.
And then another question came in. Are you able to track 1099s?
Track 1099s, meaning like if they've been submitted.
Yes. So if they want to submit the information, we can keep track of it.
Yeah.
But a lot of accountants will just accumulate it. They'll keep track. They'll look it up in the QuickBooks and they'll just send it at the end of the year when they want the 1099 printed out.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, great. Any more questions? All right, we'll go ahead and conclude this webinar. Appreciate everyone coming.
All right. Thanks for
Thank
joining
you.
us.